Hello my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. This is your girl Angel from Simply Angel Tia. In this video I'm going to be showing you guys how to do this very simple miniskirt bikini cover up. And as you can see here, we're doing it in Jamaican colors or Rastafarian colors or whatever these colors fit. It could be a flag out there that I'm not aware of, but this is the colors that we're going to be using for this. And I will do make some corrections here really quick. I did talk about at the beginning of the video making this a little bit of a longer, like kind of going down to your ankle size project, but I ended up stopping here, and I will do one that is long in the future. But if you do want to continue this and making it longer, there's really nothing else to do but just to continue your work, building your work down. But for me in this case, for the sake of this project, I ended up doing it to be a mini skirt as opposed to be a long skirt. Okay, so this is what we're gonna be working on. Yeah, go ahead and gather your colors and we'll go ahead and get started. See you guys in a bit. Okay, my lovelies, so before we get started, I'm going to show you all the materials that we're using for the project. So as you can see, I am doing these Rastafarian kind of colors for our bikini cover. And as you can see, I have the black, the red. I'm going to substitute this instead of yellow. It's kind of like these I don't even know what you would call this color, like almost orangey, and then this green. Okay, so as you can see, these three colors are the same, and then I have this one that is a little bit different. These are from Hobby. We had yarn by Hobby. It's 50 grams per, and as well as it's 100% acrylic, and it's a lightweight number 3. And this one is from Azurite, 100% acrylic as well, and it's also a lightweight number 3 and 50 grams for this one in the green color. So I'm laying them down here in the order that I'm going to be working them. I'm going to be working with this first and then change it to the red, to this color, and then to this color. For a crochet hook size, I'm going to be using a 5mm crochet hook or H8 US. All of this yarn here is recommending, I believe, a 4mm crochet hook. 4 to 5mm crochet hook. I'm going to be using these 5 because I want it to be a little bit loose. I have my scissors here, a darning needle, some stitch markers, and a tape measure. Okay, all right, let's go ahead and get started. So the very first thing that we're going to do here is with our black, we're going to start by doing a foundation chain so we can do a band for the bikini cover skirt. So I'm going to start by doing a chain of 11. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Okay, now that we have our chain of 11 like this, we're going to start working our single crochets in the back loop. So the 11th chain here is a turning chain, so we don't work into that. But in the next one, we're going to go in the back of the chain and we're going to do a single crochet like this. Then we're going to work into the second one and do a single crochet, and then into the next one and do a single crochet. And we're going to do this all the way to the end of the row, and that's going to be our first row. And then we're going to repeat pretty much the second row, which I will show you, all the way until we have the length for the band of the project here. Okay, so I'm just approaching the end here. So as you can see, I have just 3 to go, and then I'll show you the second row, which is going to be the repeat row for this part of the project. Okay, so this is our first row completed. It looks something like that. Okay, for the second row, we chain 1 and turn, and then we're going to work single crochets in the back loop of the stitches. The chain 1 we did to before we turn does not count as a stitch, so you should have 10 stitches that we're working with from this point until this part of the project is over. So make sure you're counting. If it's happened to be more, then it means you added somewhere or you worked on a stitch that was not really a stitch. If it's happened to be less, then somehow you skipped a stitch or doubled up on a stitch somewhere. But this is the second row. What I do for this final stitch, which is the 10th stitch, is I go through both loops as opposed to just the back loop. This is a preference. You don't have to do it this way. You could do the last stitch in the you could do the same thing for the last stitch as well, which where you go through the back loop. So this is my second row here, and then for the third we just repeat the same thing. So nothing changes here. We repeat the same thing we've done for the second row until you have the widest part of your hips. So what you will do is you will take your tape measure and measure the widest part of your hips, And then when you work on this project, it's going to become really, really stretchy, and you will need to incorporate that stretchiness when you measure. So let's say your widest part of your hips is, like me, 38. I will work a number of rows that will come up to 38 inches when I stretch my work. And then that's when I know I have kind of gotten the widest part of my hips covered. Okay, so repeat this until you have that, and when you do have that, come back to the video and I will show you how to start the next part of the project. See you guys in a bit. Okay, my lovelies, so I have completed the length that I need here. Like I said, again, it's very stretchy. And this is the length that I'm gonna need, and when I do join it like this and it's very stretchy, as you see here, this part of it is gonna fit the widest part of my hips. And if it does get loose on top here, let's say your waist is really small but you have really wide hips, it's important that you do something that will come over your wide hips. And then we can always do draw a drawstring here to be able to keep the top staying up, or to the top part of the skirt staying up. But for now, I have completed the length that I'm looking for, and so now we're going to join the work here. Okay, and I have my darning needle or my tapestry needle here, and I'm just going to insert the yarn like that, and then I'm going to join this section here. So for the joining, you've seen this in many projects that I've done. Very simple. I don't make it too complicated. I don't use too many different ways of joining. I just literally go like this, and usually for the first part here I do it twice just to make sure it's secure. And then for the rest of the stuff, I usually pick up, either if I pick up the inside loop of the stitch here, then on the other side I pick out the outside. So you just alternate. If you're picking the inside on this side, you pick out the outside on that side. If you pick out the outside on this side, you pick out the inside on the other side. So again, if I go inside here, then I go outside on the other side. Okay, then I go inside here, then outside on the other side. And because you have the exact same number of stitches, you should not have a problem not lining them up. They should all line up all the way to the end. So go ahead and finish this, and then I will see you guys when you've done that so we can start the next step. Okay, my lovelies, so I have joined my two sides here. So as you can see, I just have a big band like this, which is going to be the band for the skirt. And I've left this here. Just usually good to have it as a guide so that you know where you're working from and where you're ending your work, because at this point now we're working in a circle. So it's important that for me I leave this here so that it's a guide for me to know where it is. And also, if you need to undo your work, if something went wrong and you have to undo, then you have that easily already set there for you. Okay, all right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started with the first row here. So as you can see, I have my where I left my work when I started here, and then when I joined it, I leave this string here. But what I will do here, I will chain 3. So 1, 2, 3. This chain 3 counts as a stitch and a chain 1. Okay, so I have that, and I'm going to turn my work, and then when I turn my work into that exact same stitch, I'm going to work a double crochet. Okay, so what I just did here is I created a V-stitch. So the chain 2, it counts as a double crochet. The chain 1 at the end, so the third chain, it counts as a chain 1 that separates the 2 stitches. And then I do a double crochet here. Okay, and then what I will do is I will chain 2. So 1, 2. Then I will skip stitch 1, stitch 2, in stitch 3, which is right here. I will do a V-stitch, and a V-stitch is a double crochet. Okay, chain 1, double crochet into the same stitch. Okay, so I just did what I did here, except this one started with a chain 3 to be able to give us our first stitch, and then we work the second double crochet into the same stitch there. And then I do a chain 2, then I skip 1, 2 in the third here. I do a double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet to create the V-stitch. And we call it a V-stitch because if you look at it like this, it looks like a V. Okay, and then we just repeat these all around. So again, I chain 2, skip 2 stitches, 1, 2 in the third, which is right here. I do my double crochet, chain 1, double crochet into the same stitch, so creating a V-stitch. And a V-stitch can work in this, with this stitch, you can work like this. You can also do a V-stitch where you do 4 stitches into the same stitch, except you do 2 double crochets, chain 1, and then 2 double crochets all into the same stitch. So there's different variations of stitch of the V-stitch you can do. So I chain 2, I skip 1, 2, and the third one here, I do my double crochet like this, chain 1 and double crochet. Okay, so go ahead and repeat this all around. As you can see, this is how it should look. Okay, I know this is a little bit of a difficult color to see, so I try to zoom in as much as I can here so you can see. So it should look something like that. So work the V-stitches all around until you come back here. When you've completed your final V-stitch on this stitch here, come back. I will show you how to join the side, or the two sides, how to join it, and then how to start the next row. And then we just repeat that for as long as we have to go to create the length that we're looking for. Okay, so I'll see you guys when you finish the first row of the V-stitch. Okay, my lovelies, so I have gone ahead and completed my first row of the V-stitches here. So as you can see, this is pretty much how it looks like. Okay, and now we're going to start the second row, but the first thing we need to do is we need to connect these two sides. So I've completed my V-stitch right here, and I have these 2 stitches that I'm not working anything into, and so the next stitch I'm working into is in here. So I'm going to chain 1 to keep consistent the chain 1 that we did here. We're going to chain 2 actually, because we're doing a chain 2 in between. And then I'm going to go straight into that gap. So it's a chain 1 gap. We're going to go straight into that and do a slip stitch. Okay, so just like that. That way we have this chain 2 here, and then we're moving over to the side where we're going to start our second row. So what I will do here then to start my next row, which is to do the first V-stitch, I'm going to chain 3. And again, the first 2 chains counts as a double crochet. The third chain counts as a chain 1 in between. Then I'm going to go ahead and do a double crochet into that space, in between, into the exact same space. So now I have a V-stitch on top of the V-stitch here. Okay, then I'm going to chain 2 as we have been doing, then go into the space of the V2 or the V-stitch, so the chain 1 that is between the V-stitch, and we're going to do 2 double crochets. So 1 first, chain 1, and then the next one. So we're doing a V-stitch in there like that. So again, as you can see, this is a V-stitch on top of this V-stitch, and now this is the V-stitch on top of this V-stitch. Then we chain 2, then we do a V-stitch in the next stitch here, which is the V-stitch from the previous row. Okay, like that. And then chain 2, 1, 2, and then we repeat again. We do a V-stitch in the chain 1 space. So go in, do your double crochet, chain 1, and then a double crochet. And this is going to be what you do for the rest of this project. So it's very, very simple. So go ahead and continue to do this. I'm going to work with this black color until I finish the skein. So my plan with this is pretty much to do these colors that we talked about earlier. Is pretty much to finish the black, which is the 50 grams. And then when I finish the black, I change to red, and I work until I finish the red. Of course, with the exception if you do not have enough to finish the row, then you don't finish the row because you don't have enough, or you finish the row if you have more yarn to be able to finish the row with. And then I will change to from this to either one of these. I don't remember the order, but we're going to be alternating these 4 colors like that. And when I finish all the 4 skeins, I would look at it to see if I need to do more. And if I do, I just repeat the order again. I'll just go back to doing the black. Or what I can do is work the black, work the red. And if I do see that by estimation, I may not have the length that I'm looking for, then I can work more. I can add more red and work longer or more rows, then do the green and work more rows, and then do this and do more, work more rows. I have been debating whether I should even be using this because I wanted to do these kind of like Rastafarian colors, which does include yellow, but this is not quite yellow. It's kind of like a mustard or yellowish color. Not yellowish color, but mustard or almost on orange side. So I'm not sure, but I will see. I may use this or may not, but for now I'm going to keep it as an option. If I do end up just doing these 3 colors like this, I think it would look really nice, the black, red, and green. but then I will have to make sure I get more black, more green, and more red, so that I have enough to be able to do the length of this bikini cover skirt that I'm looking for, because I'm looking to do it long. And if worst come to worst and it's short, then I'll just do these colors as they are, and it will just be like a mid-length skirt cover. Okay. All right, so go ahead and repeat this, and you pretty much work this until you have the length of the project that you're looking for, and then come back so we can look at it at the end. Okay, see you guys in a bit. My lovelies, so I'm back here quickly to let you know, guys, that I'm done, and also to let you guys know that there's a few changes that I have made here. So one, when I was talking about the project, I was talking about it being long, because I wanted to do each of the blocks individually to be bigger than what it is. So just one skein of 50 grams of black is all I used here. So this took one skein of 50 grams of yarn. I used half for this yellow, and for the red, the yellow, and the green, because if I did the full one, these whole things end up going just right below my knees, and I did not like the look of it. So I decided I'll just do it to be about like a mini skirt almost. This is about 15 inches from there to here. So I think I like it like this better. So of course, if you want your bikini cover skirt to be longer, then you will continue. But just know that if you're using the same yarn that I'm doing, and you're using one full skein of the 50 grams, is going to make it so that it's not as long as you would like to, unless you're adding more yarn, or unless you're alternating these colors above the green, because green color here is the last one. If you were to start the black one again, the red, the yellow, and then the green, then that will take you down to your ankles. And I will do such projects in the future, but for now I decided we're gonna leave it as a mini skirt, bikini cover skirt like this. Okay, so those are the two changes that I've made in terms of the length. One change that I made is in terms of the length. The second change I made, when I showed you guys the yarn that I'm using, this was the yarn that was supposed to be the yellow, because I did not have the yellow, and I thought, okay, why not use this one? And as I was working with it, you guys know these are like Rastafarian colors or Jamaican colors, so it just did not look right. So I was like, you know what, let's not be lazy, let's run to the store and get the right yarn. And so I did go and get this yarn here, which is the right color. And so this one we're not using, so we're gonna put it away, and this is the one that I ended up using. So that is another change, the second change that I made to the project. So hopefully you guys will not get confused by this, but I did pretty much all the black like I said here, and then I did 6 rows in the red, 6 rows in the yellow, and then 6 rows in the green. So that's done. I have reached the end here. I have slip stitched on top of the in the gap between the first chain 3 and the double crochet that we did. And so all I would need to do here is just kind of cut it off like that, and then I am going to go ahead and slip stitch here so that we can lock that section in, and then we will weave that in. Okay, so again, the inside, if you can see, these are all the change of color, so there's a little bit of strings hanging. So we're gonna go ahead and weave all of that in, including the beginning here. So this is where we started, and as you see, this is where we joined the work here. Okay, now the last and final thing that we're going to do here is I did a chain of about 100 here for a strap of the skirt, because when we do this, we're going by the measurement of our hip, so it's quite wide, and I have a small waist, and so I will need this to be brought in a little bit, and so I often do a drawstring to bring that in. If you don't have that problem, then you leave your skirt like this, there's no problem. But I did this chain here, just a long chain that I will weave through here. You guys already know how to do that. If you're not familiar, please go check out the skirt that I've done in the past, where I show how I weave this in on top of the skirt here, so we can actually draw it closed at the end. So I will do that while I am offline. I will weave in all of my ends here while I'm offline, and when I come back, I will be able to just quickly conclude the video with you. Okay, so I will see you guys in a few minutes. Okay, my lovelies, so I have gone ahead and weaved in the ends, so the whole thing is completely clean now. And of course, like I said, I put in the drawstrings here. So this is where it's gonna be when I put it on, because my waist is smaller than my hip size. I will be able to draw this in here, but the rest of it is this wide, and this is really stretchy as well because of the pattern that we used here. So this is something that you'll be able to wear with any bikini color that is of these choices here. We all have a green, a yellow, a red, a black bikini. So this is something that you'll be able to wear with that, or just with nice shorts like tight shorts in the summer or in the fall when the weather is getting a little bit warmer but not quite warm, and you want to look a little bit nice, you can just throw these on. Or for festivals, if you're going to a festival that is colorful like this, then you'll be able to wear it to that as well. But this is pretty much the end of the project here. If you do want me to do a matching top with this, let me know, comment below, and I will go ahead and do that. And if not, I may still do it anyways, just because I like these colors. I like these Jamaican Rastafarian type of colors, and it's very nice in my opinion. So anyways, but let me know what you think. If you like it, let me know. If you don't like it, let me know. But also let me know if you would like me to do one for a top, whether it's a meshy long sleeve or a meshy short sleeve or whatever it is. Let me know and I will work on that. Okay, thank you so much again for watching the video to the end. And if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and do so. That would really support me with my algorithm and just like supporting the channel altogether. Thank you so much again, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.